Welcome back everyone, my name is Abdullah Ghori from Alpha Technology, and in this video we will talk about properties and methods in a class. In this video we will see how we can create properties and methods in a class and then how we can call them with the help of object. So if you are new on this channel, do subscribe our channel, press the bell icon so you get notification about all the upcoming videos. So now let's start our video. In this video we will take an example of a student class. Let's say we have a student class. In the student class, we have some properties. Properties means the class variables are the data members. So we have properties like integer student roll number, string student name, and then we have three subjects: double C++ mark, double Java marks, and double Python marks. After that, we want to create two methods. So the first method will be double get obtain marks. So the double get obtain marks method will return the total marks of the students. And after that we have another method which is string get result, which will return the result of the student. Now let's implement this concept in the code. First of all, we need to create a class. To create the class we need to use class keyword. After that we will say student. So this is our student class. So here we will add some properties for our student class. So I will say public. We will talk about the public, private, protector and access specifier on the upcoming videos. For now, just assume that public means we can access the public properties from outside of the class directly. Here we will declare our properties. So the first property will be int roll number. After that I will say string student name. After that I will say double CPP marks is equal to 0. Initially we are initializing our marks as 0. After that I will say double Java marks is equal to 0, double Python marks is equal to 0. And a disclaimer there that this video is a part of object oriented programming series. So in this video I am just trying to make this concept as simple. So we just want to learn two concepts: how to create properties and how to create objects and how to call them. Okay, and we will not follow the best practices for now, because we will talk about the best practices of the object oriented programming in the upcoming videos. For now we want to just understand the basics of the object oriented programming. Now we have created these properties. After that we want to create a method there. So the method name will be double. Why double? Because it will return the double. So here we'll say get obtained marks. So this method will return a value and the data type of the value will be double. Now what it will return? It will return CPP marks plus Java marks plus Python marks. So it will add all of the subjects marks and then it will return the total whenever we call our get obtain marks method. And if you don't know what is the return type, what is parameter and argument, what is method, you can watch my video about function. You can type functions in C++ and then Alpha Technology. You will see my video on the top. After that we want another method. So why I am saying this as a method? Because in object oriented programming we call function as methods. So here we'll say string and here we'll say get result. Another thing that I want to teach you, that in the object oriented programming we write the method name like this. So the first word will be in lowercase, then the first character of the second word will be uppercase. Okay, so now here we are writing a method called get result. Now we want to check a condition. The condition is that if all the subject marks are above 50, then we say this student is pass. So here we'll check if, and here we will put another parenthesis. Here we'll check if CPP marks is greater than 50 and Java marks is greater than 50 and Python marks is greater than 50, it means the student is pass. So here we will say return pass. Okay. After that I will say return fail. It means if this condition gets true, if all the subject has the marks above 50, it will return pass there. When it return pass, it will not execute this statement. Okay. And if this statement or this condition gets false, it will return fail. So that's all from our student class. Now let's go in the main method or main function and create a student object there. Now here I will say student 1. So we have created the student object. So this is the class name and here we are creating the object. After that I will set the properties of student 1. So I will say student 1 dot roll number is equal to 1. So here we'll say student 1 dot student name is equal to Ali, and after that I will say student 1 dot CPP marks is equal to 78. Student 1 dot Java marks is equal to 89. Student 1 dot Python marks is equal to 67. So I have given the random marks to the student. Now I want to print the data so you can see the actual data on the output. Okay, so it will clear your all the doubt if you have. Now how do we print the data? So we say cout. Here I will say roll number and we will call student 1 dot roll number and inline. After that we will say student name and here I will say student 1 dot student name. After that I will say inline. Here I will say cout and I will print the C++ marks. So I will say C++ marks. So why I don't write this C++ sign? Because in the variable we can't write these sort of signs. Okay, in the programming the plus means increment the value by 1. Here I will say student 1 dot CPP marks and inline. After that I will say Java marks and here I will say student 1 dot Java marks. After that we will print Python marks. I will call our student 1 object. So I will say student 1 dot Python marks. Okay, so we have displayed all the information or data that we have set it there. Now it's time to call our function. So here I will show the obtain marks. So I will say obtain marks and now I will call the method student 1 dot get obtain marks. Another thing that we need to provide the parentheses because it's a method or function. After that I will say result and here we need to say student 1 dot get result along with the parentheses and inline. Now if I save this and if I run this code, you will see all the data on the output. Now you can see here roll number is 1 is as we stated, student name is Ali, C++ marks is 78, Java marks is 89, Python marks is 67 and the total marks is 234 and the result is pass because all the subject marks are greater than 50. Let's check that is our get result method is working correct or not. So I will say Python marks are 7 there. If I run this code again, you will see that the result become fail now. Okay, so Python marks become 7 because 7 is less than 50, so this result become fail. Okay, so that's how you can use the properties and methods Now let me rewind. So first of all, I am creating a class. After that, we say public. It means we can access them directly from outside the class. Like here we are accessing the properties because these are the public properties. Otherwise, if they are private, we can't access them. We will talk about this access specifier in the upcoming class. After that, I am declaring some properties like roll number, student name, marks for 3 subjects. After that, I say double get obtain marks. So this is a method will return the addition of all the marks like C++ plus Java plus Python marks. After that, we have another method which is get result, which will check if all the subjects has the marks greater than 50, then it will return pass, otherwise it will return fail. Now if we go down here, first we are creating the student object. After that, we are assigning student1 dot roll number is 1, name is Ali, and these are marks, and then we are printing the data. Okay, and you are not limited to create only one object. You can create another object, like you can say student 2. Okay, so if I say student 2 dot student name is equal to Mosh, so my student 2 name will become Mosh. So what I will do, I will print the student 2 at the end. So here you can say student 2 name, and here we will call student 2 dot student name. If I run this code, at the end you will see student 2 name is Mosh. Okay, so I will not waste your time by writing all the properties for student 2 and then displaying it, because it's very simple task. But if you get stuck anywhere, you can comment down below. I will solve your all the questions or problems. So for now, that's all from this video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any question or suggestion, you can comment down below. Do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so you get notification about all the upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next video.